Hello and welcome to the Chrysler Center here in Ann Arbor, Michigan for today's men's basketball matchup between the Michigan Wolverines and the Maryland Terrapins. I'm Coley Hoping along with Peter Nasser, and we've got an exciting Big Ten matchup for you today.
Yeah, there's nothing better than starting off the new year here in Chrysler Center. Happy New Year, by the way, to you, Coley, and to all our listeners. And for Michigan, it's important to put behind how they ended the 2022 season, the 2022 calendar year per se, with that bad loss here in Chrysler against Central Michigan. So this is a great opportunity to get back on track as Big Ten plays ramping up. You got a good Maryland team here in tonight. They've got some really good players. They're receiving votes in the AP poll. This is the chance to get a really good quality win and progress and get confidence moving forward the rest of the season.
Absolutely. We're talking about this Maryland team that is very battle-tested. They've come in already having played 5 ranked opponents. They have wins over Miami and Illinois, number 14 and number 22 in the coaches poll, whereas they took tough losses to Wisconsin, Tennessee, and got blown out by UCLA. But all told, that is a couple of quality wins for this team. They're a very veteran team. They know how to win in addition to having the skill set and the talent. And I hope that Michigan can match their intensity today. We've seen them play down to competition or rise to the challenge on occasion with games like Virginia, games like Kentucky and London.
Yep.
And we're going to see which version shows up today. Are we going to be able to match their intensity?
Exactly. Jace Howard mentioned it in the post-game press conference after their loss to Central Michigan, how they just were out-efforted. They didn't have that effort. They weren't ready to go. So they have to be ready to go here today if they want to get a win. Maryland, they didn't have the highest expectations going to the year, but they've definitely played really well so far. And they're definitely looking forward for them as well to get a big win in the Big Ten as they start off 1-1. So this is a big win for both teams. And like you said, Michigan definitely needs to match the intensity. We have a good crowd here in Chrysler, so they need to feed off of that energy and take care of business here today.
So a couple of personnel notes. Michigan running out the usual starting 5. Doug McDaniel making his 5th straight start in the absence of Jalen Llewellyn. Other than that, we got Kobe Buffkin, Jet Howard, Terrence Williams II, and Hunter Dickinson rounding out the lineup. Over on Michigan's side, they have star point guard Jameer Young. That's going to be number 1 for the Terrapins today in red, and he is a dynamic guard. He transferred in from Charlotte. He's actually Hunter Dickinson's former high school teammate at DeMatha in Washington, D.C., and he can do it all.
Yeah, he's
great passer, great scorer in isolation. Let's see what he can do today.
Yeah, he's their leading scorer, averaging almost 15 points a game. He also gets 4.6 rebounds a game and 3.2 assists, so he's all over the stat sheet. And for Michigan, you got to limit him today.
But then we were mentioning pre-game, just talking among ourselves, that Dante Scott might be an even more accomplished player. He's a senior, 4-year starter, getting career highs in points and rebounds. That's 13 and 6.5, adding a block and a half per game, which is really nice. Yeah, and this guy can deadlift 650 pounds.
Oh, wow.
You don't see that on the basketball court every day.
Yeah, he is definitely
Dante Scott is a beast in the paint.
Definitely is, and he played well when Maryland played here last year, and he's definitely one of those leaders that Maryland's going to lean on today, as they do have a couple of transfers. Donald Carey, who's the other starting guard, he's been all over the place. So having Dante Scott there to fortify inside, it's going to be a fun matchup, him and Dickinson.
Absolutely. Maryland does not have a lot of size, and therefore they're not a very good rebounding team. This has been a problem. Michigan is last in the Big Ten in rebounding margin and last in offensive rebounds. It showed up in a big way against Central Michigan, losing it on the offensive glass many times. It's too many second-chance points for the Chippewas, and that was really what kept them in the game. If Hunter Dickinson can start to assert his size, Karis Reed Jr. can come in and also assert his size, keep Dante Scott, keep Julian Reese, the excellent small forward for these Terps, off the glass. That is the recipe for success.
Yeah,
control the glass
definitely.
And don't let up those second chance points.
Yeah, Dickinson he's obviously he's one of the best players in the country. He needs to play like it today, especially on the glass. Stay physical, stay aggressive, if they want to get the wins here today. But tip-off about to begin. Looking forward to this fun one here today.
Here we go. Matchup with top head coaches Kevin Willard and Jawan Howard. And a matchup of top Big Ten programs, Michigan and Maryland. each trying to get back on a bit of a streak. Maryland's taken those 3 losses recently. Michigan's sitting at 7-5. This is both a game that they would love to win.
Yeah.
And we'll see if the Wolverines can keep it competitive. Seven Nation Army ringing through the Chrysler Center. Dickinson taking the tip against Julian Reese.
Looks like we're waiting for the TV crew to get approval for the officiating crew to let us get going.
And there are your BTN cameras for those of you watching along at home. They are going to be all set in just 1 second. Although this may be the first time we've made it to the second verse of Seven Nation Army at a men's basketball game.
Yeah, Fox Sports 1 keeping us on our toes here for the start of this one. It looks like we're ready to go.
Making the way to the center of the court. The ball is up. Dickinson wins the tip. Back to Doug McDaniel. He's going to be guarded by Jameer Young. Working near midcourt. Way up on him is Young. Good defense. Hounding him. Dickinson comes up for the screen. Doug uses it to bring it back to the right side. Buffkin's got it on the right wing. Back to McDaniel. Not a lot of movement here by the Michigan offense. A little bit standing around. Can't fall into that trap. Jet gets it on the left side. Passes it to Dickinson for a jumper from the left corner, and he gets it. That's a 2.
That's a good look. Maryland, you think they're protecting the paint on Dickinson. They're going to make him earn those points, but that's a big hit for Dickinson out on the wing.
Jameer Young takes it down. He's going to get it into Hakeem Hart. Hart back out to Dante Scott. Back out to Carey. A lot of passing, a lot of movement. Maryland looking like a well-oiled machine. Hakeem Hart's taken in the lane. Bounce pass to Julian Reese. That is going to be short. Dickinson rebound out to Doug McDaniel. Takes it down the left side. He's going to slow it down. And his pass is errant to Jet Howard. Goes out of bounds. A turnover that is uncharacteristic of this Michigan team. They are second in the Big Ten in turnovers on offense, meaning in a good way. And they really limited that. Here we have Jameer Young working on Doug McDaniel. Gets the screen from Julian Reese, working to the left side. Dixon switches on him. Pass back out to Hakeem Hart. Now we got Dante Scott working on Terrence Williams. Ball poked away by Kobe Buffkin. And the sophomore wing gets a steal of his own. Out to Terrence Williams in the corner. He's going to nail a 3.
That's big. Turnovers leading to points. That's something that Michigan needs to take advantage of, as they did right there on that 3 from Terrence Williams II.
Young taking it down. Gets it up to Hakeem Hart, guarded by Jet Howard at the top of the key. Back to Hart. Back to Young. Doug McDaniel in his defensive stance. And that is a mental miscue by Don Carey, who had been recently benched for Ian Martinez. And the ball just glances off his hands on a pretty good pass from Jameer Young.
I don't know if he wasn't ready for it or what, but Maryland's 2 turnovers right here back-to-back. Let's see if Michigan can take advantage.
Here we have Doug McDaniel slowing down the offense. Gets it out to Jet on the left wing. Gets it into Dickinson working inside. One-on-one with Reese. He's banging his way. The double team comes. And the foul is going to be on the floor, I believe, on number 10, Julian Reese.
It'll be interesting to see with Maryland. You know, we mentioned that they don't have a ton of size. How are they going to attack Dickinson when he's posting up? Are they going to double him like they did there all day? A lot of teams seem they have been doubling him, but he's been a good passer throughout his career out of the post. So it'll be an interesting matchup to look at here today.
Doug lobs it into Dickinson. Dickinson to Buffkin coming around a screen, and he nails the 3. 8-0 Wolverines.
Great start, hitting the shots, getting them to fall. That's what you need for Michigan to start off this game.
Jameer Young hesitates, gets in the lane, and the ball knocked away by Doug McDaniel. Don Carey to take the inbounds pass. Gets it to Jameer Young at the top of the key, working to his right off a Reese screen. Spins. McDaniel not giving up an inch. Gets back out to Don Carey on the left wing. Looks for a screen from Reese. No good. Hakeem Hart swings it over into the corner. That's going to be Dante Scott short on the 3. Jet Howard flies in for the rebound.
That's good ball moving there by Maryland to get a good look in the corner, but can't get it to connect, and here comes Michigan.
Kobe Buffkin inside to Dickinson off the glass, and it's 10-0 quickly.
That's a good perfect start for Michigan, getting inside to Dickinson, moving the ball quickly after the defensive rebound, and drawing the timeout by the Terrapins. Great start for the Wolverines.
That was exactly how you drew it up. That was exactly the intensity you needed to come out with. You saw a couple of miscues from both sides.
Yep.
Ball glances off Carey's hand. Doug throws it out of bounds in the direction of Jet Howard. But also some defensive intensity. Doug McDaniel not given any space to Jameer Scott to operate. Kobe Buffkin with the steal that led to a Terrence Williams 3.
Yeah,
that was good complimentary basketball.
Yeah, they've been doing good at transitioning after these good defensive stops. They've been playing really aggressively to start, which is what you want to see if you're a Wolverines fan. And a 10-0 lead before the first media timeout. Forcing that timeout called by the Terrapins is what you want. We'll see if they make any changes, any substitutions here from Maryland to try and get things going after the slow start.
Looks like the same crew coming back out for Kevin Willard, the first-year coach. Previously at Seton Hall for 12 years.
They had a successful career out there in Seton Hall in the Big East.
Made 5 tournament appearances, but never advanced past the first weekend. He'll try to do a little bit more with some more talent in his Big Ten debut. Ball is in. Scott swings it over. Back to Scott, inside to Dante. And he's working on T. Will. Cannot get the hook shot with the right hand. Doug McDaniel collects the ball, working around a Dickinson screen, and he's going to lose that in traffic. Going the other way. A second turnover, uncharacteristic for Doug McDaniels. He does tend to speed himself up, but at the end of the day, he's got one of the top 15 assist-to-turnover ratios in the Big Ten. Yeah,
he's been having a really good year playing a bigger role with Llewellyn's injury in London. And he's stepped up to the plate. 2 turnovers here early, but so far been a good year for him.
Over on the other end, we got the ball to Carey on the left wing. He's going to jack up a 3. Did not come very close. Rebound is to Maryland. Jameer Young gets it. He puts up a jumper of his own and cannot connect. Maryland still scoreless with nearly 4 minutes taken off the clock. Kobe Buffkin inside to Dickinson, working on Julian Reese with a spin move and in for a 2.
Really good move by Dickinson. No double there by Maryland. And Dickinson just working inside. That's what he does best.
Hakeem Hart over to Young. Back to Carey. Carey inside to Reese. Reese trying to back his way into Dickinson. Excellent footwork, but blocked by Dickinson. Jet Howard collects a loose ball, gets it to Doug McDaniel. Kobe Buffkin now has it on the right wing. Into Dickinson. One-on-one with Reese, a little drop step. The double comes. But Dickinson finds it anyway with the left.
What physicality by Dickinson. A great drop step, but the double came, and he was able to get out of it and lay it up. And it's 14-0, and the crowd here is hyped here in the Chrysler Center.
Jameer Young gets doubled of his own. Julian Reese is stripped by Doug McDaniel. McDaniel taking it down, looking for T. Will. Comes in hard. Reverse layup is good in the foul.
Wow.
What a sequence by Michigan basketball.
What a sequence. What a scene here early as we go to the first media timeout. That's perfect start. We said that Michigan needs to play aggressive. They need to be, they can't play down in their competition. They have to be the aggressor, and they definitely have been these first four-plus minutes, and to jump out to a 16-0 lead.
And Maryland's size was exposed there. Hunter Dickinson, 4 for 4, using brunt force and excellent footwork down in the paint, doing whatever he wanted to Julian Reese one-on-one. Even when they brought Hakeem Hart down from the wing to make things difficult for him, he just spun around, got to the left hand, and found his happy place.
Exactly, and he also hit a shot on the wing, so he's making the defense respect his ability to shoot it from outside, which just makes it that much easier for him to dominate in the post like he has been. Buffkin hitting a 3, Williams hitting a 3 and getting that and one that we'll see the free throw after this break. But perfect start for the Wolves. They haven't even missed a shot yet. The 2 turnovers, but besides that, 7 for 7 from the field to start, and Maryland 0 for 6.
Yeah, unbelievable start. And Dickinson had 2 clunkers in a row. Last time out against Central Michigan, he only made 3 field goals through the entire game.
Yeah.
He's already surpassed that here in the first 5 minutes.
And that's what you need from your best player, to, if you have a bad game, to be able to put that behind you and to rebound. And he has done that so far today early on. with the 8 points he has. Looks like he's getting subbed out as we begin this after this media timeout. But great start for the Wolverines.
A well-earned break.
Yeah.
He was gesturing to the crowd in that classic Hunter Dickinson way. Maybe a bit of the swagger that he hadn't been showing these past few games. Because once he hits a few shots, the floodgates can open.
When he starts feeling it, he'll let it go. And especially like we've talked about on this broadcast, the height differential, he's got that advantage down low, and he has taken full advantage of that so far.
So where does Maryland go from here is the question, because they are short across the board. They do have Callum Swanton-Roger. He's a 6'11 freshman center from Calgary. And they have Arnaud Rivas, a 6'10 junior from Switzerland. But neither of them see much playing time.
Yeah, Callum Swanton-Roger only playing 3.5 minutes a game. So, do they want to change things up? Do they try and go small ball? Maybe make Dickinson play out defensively? They have options. It's gonna be interesting to see what the Terrapins decide to do here.
And you've got to keep Hakeem Hart on the floor. Hakeem Hart is a key defender for this team. He's 6'8", but he's only 205. He's not exactly going to get down into the post and be able to bang with the big guys. He's going to be more of a Jet Howard, Kobe Buffkin-focused defender today. Julian Reese is ideally in that position as well, because he's 6'9", 230. A bigger guy to be sure, but he's most comfortable working on the wings as well. Kind of a combo guard forward with excellent ball skills. Let's see who Maryland has subbed in here. They're going to bring in Patrick Emilian, a 6'7 graduate student, previously played at Western Michigan. So he's back in a familiar place. Ian Martinez has also come onto the floor. 6'3 junior from Costa Rica, Utah transfer. This team is very experienced and did a great job picking up guys in the portal this past year.
And that's shown with the success they've had early this season.
Terrence Williams second. Gearing up for his free throw, and he'll hit it. The lead is 17-0. And Jameer Young flies down the court looking if he can get some offense. Tries to get around McDaniel, and there's Terrace Reed. Tried to spin out and get the ball to Patrick Emilian, but Terrace Reed with his ever-active hands, knocking that ball out of bounds.
Yeah, he got the lengthy hands to be able to stick his paw out there and force Maryland to reset on the side.
The ball is into Martinez. Gets it back to Young. And that's going to be a quick trigger three by Noah Batchelor. He was not able to connect, and it remains 17-0. Jet Howard's got the ball for Michigan on the other end. Over to Buffkin on the left wing. Working against Young. Gets a screen from Terrace Reed Jr., and he's going to work it to Terrence Williams at the top of the key. Back to Buffkin on the right wing. He loses the ball. There's Doug McDaniel who collects it. He's going to jack up a three. Too short. Rebound to Jameer Young. Running a little bit of pace here. And he's going to get it back to Batchelor. Nice move inside. Back out to Young, though. Terrence Williams recovers on defense. A screen, but Terrace Reed handles it nicely. And a deflected ball out of bounds.
Looks like they've called a foul, I believe, as well. I think it was on Williams, the second. But I'm not positive. They have not announced it.
Yes. Yeah, T-Will picks up the foul there.
But they've been aggressive defensively, and that's a foul you could take early in this game.
And doing a good job getting a hand on a ball, blocking the passing lanes while he was doing it. Young's got it. Over to Batchelor. Set play for a three, and he's going to be fouled by Terrace Reed. Terrace Reed looking up at the scoreboard in disbelief.
Good play by Maryland to just try and get something going, get the set play for a three-point opportunity. Now no Batchelor at the line. Chance with 3 shots trying to get Maryland on the board here.
The wing from Frederick, Maryland, is going to hit the first and put Maryland on the board.
If you're Maryland, good to not see a 0 on the scoreboard anymore with 2 more free throws still to go here.
Batchelor is short on the second. So here we are, 17-1, 14-15 left in the first half. Michigan has missed just one field goal, while Maryland has not hit any. Batchelor misses another one. For a guy that they were trying to feed three-point shots, he's not very comfortable at the line.
Only 1 for 3 there.
Jet Howard's got on the left wing. Batchelor hounded him. Jet inside to Terrace Reed, who finishes with the lay-in.
Maryland aggressive on the screen there, but great roll by Terrace Reed Jr.
And a great
Jet
find.
Howard finding him up.
Doug McDaniel forces Young to pick up his dribble. There's Hakeem Hart. Over to Batchelor. Back to Young at the top of the key. He's looking for a screen from Martinez. And he's going to get it to him for 3, but a wildly missed shot. Ball's out of bounds. Michigan basketball.
Yeah, Jet Howard throwing the ball off of the Maryland Terrapin to keep possession, and Michigan has been able to keep that momentum that they've started as they lead 19-1. Score you don't see too often in basketball, but
or many sports.
many sports, exactly.
Will Cheddar's checked in for the Wolverines. He's going to inbound it to Doug McDaniel. Joey Baker is also on the floor, second unit. Jet Howard, however, has the ball. He's working inside, got his back to the basket, out to Cheddar. Cheddar being guarded by Dante Scott. Cheddar sets a screen for Jet Howard, who will pull up for the 3 off the back iron. Rebound collected by Maryland. Taking it back down the other way, Dante Scott. Inside to Ian Martinez. Martinez throws it nearly away, but the ball is controlled by Terrace Reed guarding the ball here. And that is going to be a long 3. Still nothing. That was Don Carey. Oh, and a huge lob. An interesting attempt.
That would really have
Terrace Reed would have brought the house down and probably the rim.
Definitely.
The way that he was attacking the basket there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've noticed Maryland, their passing hasn't been as crisp as you like. A lot of tip passes. There, they had to reset their offense. They had a good look in the 3, but Carey with a miss. He's 0 for 2 from the field, both of those 3-pointers.
Jahari Long bringing up the ball for the Terrapins. Gets it to Dante Scott, who tries a reverse. And his shot was altered by Hunter Dickinson and Will Cheddar down low. Kobe Buffkin, who has re-entered the game, is out on the right wing. He gets doubled, gets it to Dickinson. And the 3 is no good. Nearly an excellent shot, an excellent play by Buffkin and Dickinson.
That's a good look. He's been hitting those this year at a higher rate. So that if you're Michigan, you're fine with that look. He's wide open. He hit one already from the wing anyway, so.
Martinez working on Baker. Gets it back out to Carey. Swings it back to Martinez for 3, and he'll hit that one. The first field goal of the day for the Maryland Terrapins.
No.
Bringing a little bit of a press here. Easily broken. Dickinson's got the ball. He's taking it up. Drops it off for Buffkin. Juwan Howard directing his team. Isaiah Barnes comes up. Will not take the ball. Buffkin standing there. Gets it into Dickinson at the elbow, and he's going to put up a jump shot and hit it.
He got that shot today so far from the outside. It's his second shot from the wing. This one from the elbow from the top of the key. Gets it to fall. He's got 10 already.
Dante Scott banging against Will Cheddar. Cannot get him to bite on the move. Ian Martinez driving, kicking to Don Carey. Don Carey on the left wing takes a 3. Just off the front iron. Kobe Buffkin's got it the other way. Inside to Dickinson, and there's going to be a foul on Patrick Emilian.
That's a good foul. That's 2 points he would have given up if Dickinson was getting that position. And
excellent position. Describe how we saw him create that kind of space.
Yeah, he was able to. They've been rolling really well, and he was able to get in there, take advantage. Of the big size advantage that he had on Emilian, and was able to draw that foul. I believe it was a foul on the floor though, so they're not going to give him free throws after this break. But Michigan still big lead, 21-4 with 11:11 to play here in the first half, and no complaints for the Wolverines so far. That's exactly how you want this game to go thus far.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I love that you mentioned how much space they're getting off that pick and roll. Mm-hmm. Doesn't matter if it's for the ball handler or a back screen to spring a cutter. when Dickinson is rolling off that, and to a lesser extent what Terrace Reed Jr. was doing when he was in the game, is Maryland's kind of trying to play in between. They're not attacking the screen to, divert the path of the ball handler or this cutter, and they're letting the big roll off with just a ton of space. Makes it an easy pass every time, especially given the size.
Yeah.
They lob it up, and easy connection. You saw Terrace Reed on that beautiful play earlier, put in the lay-in. And like you said, Dickinson 5 for 5, 10 points, both inside and out. He's been operating his game to perfection.
Yeah, he definitely has been. And Maryland's been trying to pressure the ball handlers a bit, and they've had some success doing that. But once Michigan can get it down low and get the ball moving quickly, they've had a lot of success today.
Hunter Dickinson, you feel like you don't hear about his exploits these days, but he's averaging 18, 8.5, and a block. Those numbers are good for 4th in the Big Ten, 6th in the Big Ten, and 4th. Obviously, the points and rebounds will come for a 7'1" center, playing in a college league. But it's just quietly excellent all the time. Maybe he's slowed down a bit with his recent 2-game slump, but this is the guy who nailed nearly every shot, put up 30 points against Eastern Michigan early in the year. He's a guy who gave them a chance to beat a ranked Virginia, in the Chrysler Center about a month ago. And frankly, when he's off his game, Michigan doesn't have a chance.
Exactly.
Right? But it's totally different when he is getting his space, when he is able to set his position inside, use that highly effective drop step, or the spin move back to his left hand in the center of the paint. Either move, he's got both in his bag, and it keeps defenders guessing.
Yeah.
When he's hitting them, he's darn near unstoppable.
He definitely has been, and Michigan knows that they need him to continue to step up like he has so far today if they want to play well this Big Ten season and vie for a tournament spot, because so far they haven't put themselves in a position to get it in the tournament without a real quality win. Their best win, Pitt? Maybe EMU hasn't been that good, but like Pitt, they blew out Pitt in Brooklyn. But besides that, they haven't had any really good wins. They had some good losses.
That just beat UNC.
Yeah,
however.
That's true. Yep. But for Michigan, this is where it starts. Big Ten play is heating up. They have the win against Minnesota in December, but this is where Big Ten play really starts. And as the game resumes, Michigan's got to keep that intensity.
Buffkin inbounds it to Dickinson near midcourt, and then runs out to take the ball from him. Buffkin looking for Isaiah Barnes. Barnes will take it from him. He's working on Jameer Young. Gets it to Dickinson. Buffkin comes around to Dickinson's screen, goes to the left side, floats it up. Off the rim, off the backboard, but no good. Jameer Young the other way. And that pass is going to hit Juwan Howard out of bounds.
Another errant pass. Looked like Young wasn't expecting the winger to be as low as he was. And what is that, the 4th turnover for Maryland here in this game compared to 3 for Michigan. But another bad pass for the Terrapins.
Kobe Buffkin working to the right side. Now he's got Dickinson one-on-one. Working on Julian Reese, who has re-entered the game. Joey Baker driving inside. He's going to be fouled.
That's
good work.
Yep. And that was a good job by Dickinson as he was posting up the double. He felt that, kicked it out to Joey Baker, who was able to get a good drive and draw the foul.
And the double was what Joey Baker saw that allowed him to make that drive, because his guy was lagging off him, trying to help. And Dickinson, when he wants to clear the lane just by moving his body, he got those two guys out of the way, forced a valiant contest, but one that was very clearly a foul.
And as Baker does not get a hometown roll there and misses the first free throw, but when the double comes, it's on both Dickinson and whoever the defenders coming in to adjust to be able to make it easier for each other to.
Baker misses the pair
from the line,
but it's still 21-4 Michigan. Kind of an unbelievable start for these Wolverines after the way these past couple games have gone. Juju Reese nearly gets it taken by Joey Baker. He's going to bet it back to Jahari Long. Dante Scott fakes Cheddar in the air. Back to Long. Long working on the left side on Buffkin. Kicks it out to Martinez. Jameer Young has got it and misses the easy lay-in. Isaiah Barnes collects the rebound. And Barnes, an errant pass of his own. Looking for Kobe Buffkin.
Yeah, a few of those errant passes here. But one thing I noticed on that possession, just how aggressive Michigan, how fast they've been getting up, helping the helper defensively. They've been moving real fast. They've been playing with purpose on the defensive end of the floor. And that's all you could ask for. And they've been playing really well, as they've only given up 1 field goal and 1 free throw and 4 points total.
It has been a display of active hands, active feet, everything Jawan Howard has wanted from his team. Here we have Hakeem Hart working it back to Long. Hakeem Hart on the left wing, working on Joey Baker, goes to his left hand, and overshoots the basket by quite a bit there. Barnes gets the rebound. Barnes guarded by Long, gets it over to Buffkin on the right wing. Baker's in the corner to his right-hand side. Buffkin's going to slow it down, take it to the top of the key, looking for a screen from Dickinson. Dickinson crashes to the paint. Joey Baker looking for Dickinson inside now. Dickinson doubled, spins, and is fouled.
Even with the double coming, he's able to maneuver through it, draws the foul, and Dickinson is playing some of his best ball this year.
Absolutely. And that was Dante Scott with the foul. Julian Reese was on the main coverage there. Those were their 2 best post defenders who came into Dickinson, and he was a whirlwind through the post there.
Another missed free throw. I know it's no scoring for either team in the last 2.5 minutes.
Michigan's been shooting just 67% from the line this year. Struggles continue, but 21-4, it remains. That one missed, but Cheddar collects it. As he falls to the ground, he gets it to Dickinson, still hanging out by the line. Jet Howard's now got it. Will Cheddar for 3 over Hakeem Hart. And Isaiah Barnes gets the offensive board. Dickinson misses a short jumper, and Maryland will run the other way. Jahari Long taking it in. Kicks it out to Hakeem Hart. Uses a Reese screen. Back to Don. That's going to be Don Carey. Taking a deep 3 of his own. No good. A lot of threes from this Maryland team.
Yeah, I didn't like that shot by Carey there. It seemed like he settled for the 3 with Dickinson on him. You could tell they're starting to get frustrated offensively. They're not being able to get the looks that they want. The shots aren't falling for them. They're 1 for 15 from the field, 1 for 8 from 3.
An excellent speed down the court there. Kind of an uneventful sequence, but Dickinson was running down the court. Carey got in his way, and he picked up the foul. Now Buffkin inbounding, gets it to Cheddar. Cheddar tries to get to Dickinson. Reese will take it away. Gets it to Hakeem Hart, who then throws it away himself.
They're trying to get going as a turnover, trying to take advantage of that turnover. But the pass was a little behind. And as Williams checks in, he checks in. Still 21-4. We have not had a score. Maryland hasn't scored in 3:36. That was the last basket.
Here's Doug McDaniel back on the floor. Gets to Jet Howard. Dickinson sets him up for a 3 with a nice screen, but it's in and out for the star freshman. Dante Scott's taking it the other way. He'll get it to Hakeem Hart. Over to Jameer Young. Jameer holding the ball. Back to Hart. Double screen, and he'll pull up for the jumper. Cannot connect. Terrence Williams goes up, and he's fighting with Reese, and Reese will knock it out of bounds. Michigan basketball.
A 2-on-1. They're battling for the rebound right on the baseline, and Michigan gets the call their way, and they get possession.
That's the fight you love out of T-Will. They also quietly hit 2 shots, including a 3. Also got a free throw, so he's got 6 points.
Yeah.
There he is with the ball, getting it to McDaniel, working on Dante Scott. Now he's got it to Buffkin. Buffkin against Ian Martinez, takes it into Dickinson for the flush.
What a pass there. And Dickinson finishes it to end the scoring drought for the Wolverines.
Buffkin with an excellent drive, but keeping his eyes up. The way we talk about NFL quarterbacks, keeping your eyes up and finding that best option.
Exactly.
Dickinson wide open for the dunk. That one, as Dante Scott was working inside, could not connect. Buffkin running on the floor. It's going to be a goaltend.
Goaltend, yep. Great job by Michigan. They're really pushing off these defensive rebounds, getting out in transition, and getting the basket there on the layup after a miss by Scott. And the lid has not been, Maryland has not been able to get the lid off the basket here. 1 for 17 from the field so far today. 1 for 3 from the line, and then they have the 1 3-pointer for their 4 points. Michigan on a quick 6-0 run.
This has been completely remarkable. I mean, Maryland being held to 4 points through the first 12 and a half minutes of this game. We absolutely did not see this coming. We foresaw, a Big Ten battle where Maryland is one of the best shooting teams in the Big Ten. We're talking about a team that connects on well over 40%, 47% of their field goals, 32% of their threes. They got a lot of talented scorers. We talked about Julian Reese.
Yep.
His field goal percentage, 71% coming in this game.
Only 2 shots today,
How effective can you be?
Only
How
2
effective
shots
can you
today.
be?
Yeah, exactly.
And then to be this ineffective against this Michigan defense that has been smothering in all ways, out on the perimeter, inside, help on a screen, whatever it is, they're jumping in these lanes.
Yeah.
We see these Maryland passes and we say, unforced error. But the reality is, if the pass was easy, they would be able to make it.
Yeah.
The pass hasn't been easy because Michigan's been biting. They've been trying to generate these steals, generate these fast break opportunities. And when they do, every man running down the floor, whoever is in the best position gets the ball, whether that was Dickinson the time he got fouled, whether that was Kobe Buffkin where he just converted on that goaltend by Ian Martinez. Everything has been going right.
Yeah.
Everyone is locked in, and the hustle is what's setting it apart. On the defensive end, getting down in transition on offense. And Maryland has been the one that hasn't brought the intensity.
Like, you could tell that Central game, that bad loss here on Thursday, it sparked them a bit. Jace Howard, we talked about it at the beginning of the telecast. Jace Howard, he was the only player to talk to the media after the game. He said he did not like the effort that they brought, that they weren't fighting in the game, and they're definitely fighting today. Like we mentioned, how Maryland's 1 for 17. Michigan is a big part of that. They've been defending really well. The shots aren't easy. Maryland's only had a couple good looks that just haven't been able to fall. But the defense has been really good. We talked about the tip passes, getting the passing lanes, making it difficult for the Maryland to get their offense going. And that's how you get out to this big 21-point lead here with 7:20 to go in the first half.
Although, I think we were mentioning it earlier, the shot selection from the Terps, I'm sure, is driving Kevin Willard and his staff crazy right now. You've seen Don Carey, whose shooting splits are not horrendous, but not what you want. Not a guy that you want going out, halfway to half court and taking threes that he has no business having the ball there. Same deal with Dante Scott. Although he's a high volume 3-point shooter, the percentages haven't been there this year. He needs to see some go through.
Yeah.
He needs to get his shots as one of the focal points of the offense. But when there's 10 seconds left on the shot clock and he's 5 feet behind the 3-point line and he's taking a shot, you've got to tell your guy, like, hey, you're a big guy, you're a very strong guy. Establish yourself inside, and then those outside shots come. Ball movement has been good at times. Yeah,
they've been moving. They've been kicking it around, got their 1-3.
The final shot, they're not driving the ball enough. They're passing the ball. They're not driving the ball.
And credit to Michigan's defense on making them feel uncomfortable, making them feel like they need to take those shots.
Here we are, finally back in action. We've got Jameer Young working on Doug McDaniel on the left side. He gets it in to Dante Scott. Dante Scott with a hesitation move against T. Will, and now he's backing him down. But a looping shot, unable to connect. And Doug McDaniel throws it off of Julian Reese for another just wasted possession.
Yeah, it's good to see Scott. He was attacking the paint, attacking Williams the second, but just can't convert on the layup. And
he didn't look like he was in control of his body. He looked like he was trying to use his force so much that he forgot to add a little bit of touch on that little teardrop. McDaniel just over half court, now driving on Julian Reese. Gets the floater to go.
That's the thing with Doug McDaniel. When he gets downhill, he's really quick off the screens and was able to take advantage of that layup. 23-point game.
Hakeem Hart getting it over to Ian Martinez. Ian Martinez is going to be fouled by Kobe Buffkin off the ball. That's going to be the 4th team foul on Michigan. Hakeem Hart's got it on the left side. Quick cleanup on aisle 9
Yep.
of the sweaty bodies of Bufkin and Martinez that went flying as it got
Martinez, yep.
tangled. Hakeem Hart looking for Jameer Young. Terrace Reed with a nice work on both sides of a screen, not allowing Young in. And on the other end, Hakeem Hart's going to get an offensive rebound and get the putback to go and the foul.
That was a great job by Reed Jr. to not let that screen be effective. Led to Maryland shooting the 3, but offensive rebound hurt there.
So here we are, 6:26 left in this first half. It's 27-6. Foul shot for Hart coming. They're 2 for 20, 1 for 9 from 3, and now 2 for 4 from the line. So their shooting has just been atrocious. Bringing a little bit of press here, though. Broken easily. Jet Howard gets the ball, passes to Kobe Bufkin. Bufkin working against Hakeem Hart. Goes to his right hand. Hakeem Hart's going to poke the ball away, but collected by Terrence Williams. And there's going to be a foul there.
Yeah,
Foul
Terrace
on.
Reed, trying to establish himself inside. And Emilian gets his second foul. And they're going to be shooting.
Terrace Reed will get a 1-and-1 opportunity here. Freshman big man can't connect. Hakeem Hart controls the basketball. Working on Jet Howard. Goes to the left side. Gets it out to Dante Scott. Don Carey's got it. Works it into Hakeem Hart. Between the legs. And almost a nice finish with the left hand, but in and out. Terrace Reed Jr.'s got the rebound. And Doug McDaniel with a sick crossover. Had Jameer Young
Wow.
in fits. Spins and gets to go. Doug McDaniel
He's so
crosses
crafty,
up Jameer Scott, loses the basketball, regains it, gets his dribble, spins, and a nice little floater. There he commits the foul, a little exuberant on the other end.
Yeah, when he gets going, he's excited. He makes those spectacular plays there when he goes downhill. He ran into Terrace Reed Jr. and was able to control the ball and put up the little floater to go. As Hunter Dickinson's back in. He's been out for a few minutes now, getting a nice breather as he has 12 points on 6 or 7 shooting.
Jameer Young, to Dante Scott. Back to Jameer Young. He's working on Bufkin. Turns, spins. Hakeem Hart's got it. Over to Don Carey. Don Carey doubled briefly. Gets it out to Dante Scott. And Dante Scott is blocked by Terrence Williams and Jet Howard combining. Not giving him an inch there. Jet Howard into Terrence Williams now. Terrence Williams with a nice finish, right-handed.
And that started with that defensive possession. They started double teaming a couple times and was able to give Maryland a little bit of fits there. Forced a miss, and then was able to push in transition. And Terrence Williams the second with a nice layup. 31-7 with 4:55 to go. And I believe Maryland called their second timeout.
This has been a beatdown.
Yeah.
This has been, words are not doing it justice at this point. Especially when you see Maryland run an offensive possession like that. Where they, clearly their coach has been talking to them and saying, like, you need to try to get inside.
Mm-hmm.
You see Jameer Young try to get inside. You see him denied. You see Hakeem Hart try to get inside. You see him denied. And Dante Scott right at the end.
Yeah.
Just didn't believe he had enough time, I believe. Puts up a shot, little time left on the shot clock. And nothing about that was pretty. Nothing about that was what Maryland loves to do with the basketball, with their kind of perpetual small ball lineup. They need to drive. They need to kick.
Yeah.
But I guess this year they haven't been putting up the assist numbers that they usually do. They're second to last. We're last. They're second to last. So they've been a lot about isolation, and they haven't been able to do that either. Here we've got Hart working down low on Bufkin, and he nearly gets it to go as he spins around the defender. but ends up in Jet Howard's hands, working on Dante Scott. Scott staying in front there. Jet Howard looking for Hunter Dickinson off the pick and roll, and he's going to be fouled by Jahari Long.
A great job on the pick and roll between Jet and Hunter there, and Dickinson draws a foul and get 2 at the line.
And you almost feel like Jet and Hunter are developing that chemistry
Yeah.
where they knew the ball was going to Hunter Dickinson there, right? Jet knew that he was creating the space to get his big man the ball as he hits the first foul shot there.
And that's big when you could have your 2 best players working that pick and rolls as well as they do. It opens up so much for this offense.
Dickinson will hit that there. It is 33-7, 4.5 to go in this first half. Don Carey getting it to Batchelor. Haven't seen his name in a while. Reese back to Carey. Carey being guarded by Dickinson. And gets the entry pass to go to Juju Reese. Joey Baker, I believe, committed a foul there.
Michigan foul number 15, Joey Baker, his first.
There's a good feed inside by Maryland. That was a good pass inside, and things drew the foul, and the ref looks like he's talking to
Juwan Howard's got a couple of qualms about it. And here we have Jahari Long looking for Don Carey, but kicked by Kobe Buffkin. So we'll do it all over again.
Getting in the passing lanes once again there on that play on the inbound.
Here we have Julian Reese working on Kobe Buffkin. Got a little bit of sides advantage. Joey Baker comes in with the help, and the shot is missed. Collected by Jet Howard. He's taking it in, loses it briefly, regains possession. Out to Terrence Williams, guarded by Reese. He backs it up, he sets it up, and Batchelor and Hunter Dickinson go tumbling. They're going to call Hunter Dickinson for an offensive foul
looks like
here.
it.
Hooked him. A couple of boo birds
We'll see
flying around Chrysler Center.
Yeah, we'll see if they go to the monitor. I don't know if this is a potential hook and hold or anything of that nature. That looks like Batchelor hit him in the face there. If I'm being honest, looking at this board, but foul goes on Dickinson. That's his first, I believe.
They are taking a look at it at
They are
the
reviewing,
monitor
yeah.
down there. So they could be looking for a hook and hold potentially,
Maybe.
or an elbow to the face.
Yeah, it looks like
from
Batchelor hit him in the head. So we'll see if they want to upgrade that possibly or change the call here as we have this media timeout, the under 4, the final media timeout of this first half.
Looks like they're gonna talk it over here. So far, there hasn't been a lot of bad blood. Mostly just deflation from Maryland and the overexuberance of Doug McDaniel at times. But other than that, it's been a very clean game.
Yeah, definitely. It's been a fast-paced game. It's been an exciting game. Even though for Maryland it was only 7 points, they might not agree with it being an exciting, fun game. But Michigan's been controlling the tempo. They've been able to control this game so far. And it's exactly what you want to do to kick off the new year. They say new year, new me all the time. And maybe Michigan can take the bad loss to end the 2022 calendar year and build off of that. And starts today, and so far they've done that because they have a lot of work to do if they want to make the tournament here. And it starts today. Every game, we got to go one game at a time, and this is the perfect start, first 16-plus minutes of this game.
And a highly entertaining timeout here.
Yeah, showing
they show the kids' drawings of the Michigan Kids Club.
Here on Kids Day. Here in
Jace
Chrysler
Howard
Center.
looks like maybe, he's missing a couple of ears, or maybe he's got a couple extra, hard to say. Jalen Llewellyn, very accurate.
Yeah, I like that one.
And not purple in any sort of way. And, that had been an issue with some of these earlier
Joey
players.
Baker, a bigger head, a wider face by the kid who drew.
Oh, Terrace Reed is every bit
Ooh, I
as,
like
as
that
beautiful.
one. Oh, I like that one.
Maybe
And
the visuals aren't for an auditory medium here.
Yeah, ooh, they
but
got multiple ones for him. All of them real solid. The crowd enjoyed those.
we've had some good timeout entertainment.
Yeah.
We had
The kids
the
doing
Duncan crew.
Yep.
Was over the break over.
Oh, yeah.
At the Appalachian
Oh,
State
the Michigan
women's
or
game.
the Pistons, the Extreme
Exactly.
team.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the Extreme team made a stop in Ann Arbor.
Uh-huh.
I remember last year we had a woman come in who could balance about 15 plates on her nose.
Yeah, I remember. I
well
forgot.
on a unicycle,
Yep.
and then tossed them to herself, juggling.
Uh-huh.
I mean, the halftime, Super Bowl halftime show is one thing, but
Uh-huh.
the Michigan basketball shenanigans
Yeah.
are something else.
After further review, it has been ruled a flagrant one foul on Michigan's #1 Hunter.
Wow.
So Dickinson picks up a flagrant one there. It's going to be a hook and hold.
Oh, yeah. I think, right there at the end, I could see. Looks like he.
He locks him up, kind of grabs his arm. So Batchelor was the victim of this crime. And he'll be shooting a couple of foul shots here. Nails that. After he struggled his first trip to the line.
Mm-hmm.
The first point that Maryland scored.
Yeah.
Batchelor swishes another one. And we'll get back to the action.
If you're Michigan, you can't let that hook and hold, that flagrant, derail you in any way these last 4 minutes of the first half. Have to keep playing the way you've been playing. Don't give Maryland any confidence, any momentum going to this half.
Batchelor gets it to Jahari Long. Long working off a carry screen. He's been guarded by Joey Baker. Baker down in his defensive stance. Carey's got it, working on Jet. Hunter Dickinson switches off and forces it back out to Hakeem Hart. Jahari Long still guarded by Baker. Baker staying in front. Double screen by Reese. Triple screen by Reese. But nothing doing. Hakeem Hart working on Terrence Williams. Gets inside, and he'll bank home the floater there. Cutting through the paint.
That's a good finish by Hart, but that's a good defensive possession. Made Maryland really earn that basket.
Took the full 30 seconds.
Yep.
Kobe Buffkins got it, working on Long. Terrence Williams looking to the right. Gets it inside. Beautiful entry pass to Dickinson, but off of his knee. He claims that he was pushed from behind, but looks like he might have just lost the handle on that one. Jahari Long working to his left, puts Kobe Buffkin on the ground, but loses the ball himself. An excellent move that got everyone flying. Buffkin pokes it away. And he gets it to Dickinson for the two-handed slam.
Great job by Buffkin recovering after undefensively, getting the steal, and then leading to the basket.
And
by
his
Dickinson.
patience there.
Yep.
He knew that Dickinson was going to come flying down faster than Reese could get to him.
Mm-hmm.
And he let it play out, and it happened as he foresaw. But that one is going to be matched by two-handed slam from Reese. A little miscommunication there, as three guys pursued the ball handler. No one took the roller. The press is coming down. Don Carey taking T. Williams. Jahari Long working on Kobe Buffkin. Try to trap in the corner, but Buffkin gets it out to Terrence Williams. Terrence Williams into Dickinson, who passes it to Jet Howard, and who is fouled. It's going to be the 9th foul by Maryland. Fouls have picked up significantly in the past couple of minutes.
So Jet will get the 1-and-1 here. Good feed by Dickinson on the cut by Jet.
Absolutely, it was good work by Buffkin once he saw that trap coming.
Mm-hmm.
Got the ball out of his hands
Yep.
to Terrence Williams. Got to Dickinson, and Dickinson sees the baseline cutting Jet Howard, who absolutely puts that one in. He deposits that one in the basket. Jet Howard will hit both foul shots, and the lead is 37-13. For those of you who were not here at the beginning, Michigan jumped out to a 17-0 lead before Maryland put one on the board off a no Batchelor foul shot. Now Don Carey's working with the ball. Gets it inside, blocked by Buffkin. That was Patrick Emilian, and Buffkin came flying in. Joey Baker's got set up for a transition 3, and he nails it.
And great defense leading to offense again right there. Maryland was able to move the ball pretty well on that sequence, but the block leading to the 3 by Baker, and it's 40-13, and the
This
crowd
is total and utter domination.
and the crowd is getting into it here in Chrysler.
This is Young. Jameer Young leaves it short. Terrence Williams running down the left side. Dribbling against Hakeem Hart. Looks for Dickinson at the top of the key. Dickinson turns to Buffkin. Right wing. Gets to T. Will. Loses the handle, but recollects it. He's even still got his dribble. Back to the basket. Out to Dickinson. Back into Terrence Williams. Ball was loose for a second, but he gets it again. Spins inside. Unable to connect. Young taking it the other way. With pace, and Buffkin snares that one. He snares that pass. Gets a T-Will, and that one is going to be tipped and out of bounds. Michigan basketball. What a play defensively by Kobe Buffkin.
Maryland trying to push it
snatched
there.
it.
Yeah, he just one hand grabbed it out of the air and pushing it forward for the Wolverines, and they're not letting up. Michigan's not letting up here with the score it is.
That's Buffkin's third steal of the half. He's played 18 minutes. He is the Wolverines' leader in minutes, playing 31 a game. And he has really come to his own. 7 straight games in double figures, and he does it all. Gets his 12.5 points. That's one thing, but add in 4 rebounds, 3 assists, steal and a half, and a block. Every phase of the game. Kobe Buffkin is getting more and more comfortable. We're seeing it before our eyes. His shooting percentages are up 10% from the field, 10% from 3 over last year. And he's become one of the leaders of this team,
Yeah,
at
he's
least
really
on the
stepped
floor,
up, definitely.
where they maybe look to Jace Howard for that vocal leadership. Kobe Buffkin does it by example.
Yeah.
You don't see him, arguing with the refs too much. You don't see him getting down on himself.
Yep.
He's projecting confidence this year in a way that we hadn't seen from him in the past.
Yeah, definitely. And that's what you need for a team with a lot of transfers, not new players. You got Buffkin coming in to this season, and he's been playing really well. And
a lot more ball handling responsibility.
yep, especially with a Llewellyn injury too.
Injured. McDaniel inbounding the ball. He's looking for Barnes, but gets it to Dickinson out near midcourt. Dickinson guarded by Emilian. Gets it to Joey Baker, who runs the pick with Dickinson, and Dickinson hits the floater, left hand.
Great pick and roll there. And Dickinson with the floater to finish.
Jameer Young slowing things down. Looking out to Don Carey. Just passing it around the perimeter here. Looking for Dante Scott inside. Scott will set a screen. Gets the switch. Dante Scott on the smaller Isaiah Barnes. Trying to work it inside. Help from Baker. And it's going to be an air ball. Dante Scott lost track of where he was on the floor, I believe. And that's going to be a half. Or a shot clock violation.
Yeah, that's a great defensive possession by the Wolverines, and we've said that quite a few times here today in this first half with 6.6 ticks to go. We'll see if Michigan can get one more opportunity to really solidify this first half domination that they've had.
Into Dickinson, drops it off to McDaniel. McDaniel flying down the floor. Goes up, and he hits it. Oh my goodness, falling away. Doug McDaniel had so much lateral momentum as he moved from the left wing of the court to his right hand for that layup. He was flying sideways and working against his body to get that high off the glass. What touch by Doug McDaniel.
Yeah, a great play there, drawn up on the inbound, getting them pushing it there, and Michigan solid, dominating 31 point lead here in this halftime. Just perfect half for the Wolverines.
I mean, I don't know how many more ways we can describe this.
Yeah.
But they're shooting 66% from the field, 18 for 27. Haven't taken many threes, but they hit 3 of the 7 they took. Out-rebounded them 26 to 12. Now, part of that is Maryland hasn't been able to buy a bucket.
Yeah.
And Michigan is positioning themselves tremendously on the defensive side. It's not as if they're really dominating. It's just that they're not giving Maryland opportunities to rebound.
Exactly.
And they're doing a very solid fundamental job boxing out, showing that energy in a way. that they didn't against Central, that maybe was lacking at times against UNC, where you didn't see the same level of fight.
Yeah.
And the physicality, the speed, the defensive effort is all there today.
They definitely brought it today, and that's exactly what you wanted to see from them. Ending that half on a 9-0 run over the past 2 minutes, and can't ask for much more. Yeah, like we said throughout this broadcast, not many words to describe how this first half, 44-13. And if you're Michigan, just can't let up, can't give Maryland any chances. We got some kids doing some little challenge here for the halftime thing. But definitely a great first half for the Michigan Wolverines.
There is little that we can pick apart of this effort today. Obviously, anytime you have a 31-point lead in a game, that's a pretty solid game. Michigan's largest win of the season came by 31 points against Pittsburgh.
Yep.
To be up 31 at the half is unheard of.
Especially in the Big Ten. Like the Big Ten, every game you're gonna get the best of each team in the Big Ten. And I expect in the second half that Maryland's not gonna give up. I expect them to fight in the second half and try to make this a ball game. And you never know.
And maybe some regression to the mean in terms of those shooting percentages.
Yeah. Only 13% from the field, where the Terrapins 4 for 30 from the field. Credit to Michigan's defense, though. They didn't give Maryland any easy looks.
Dickinson has 18 points right now, and Maryland has 13 points.
Yeah.
He has been doing it all. He's 8 for 9 from the field. We were talking about his inside-outside game. The pick and roll has been devastatingly effective. And there's not much to complain about. If you had one thing, you'd say, Hunter Dickinson, please don't drag a guy to the ground in a flagrant foul.
Clean up the turnovers a little bit. 7 turnovers in the first half. A little uncharacteristics of the Wolverines. Maybe clean that up a little bit.
If you said, you're going to have 7 turnovers in the first half, Juwan Howard would have said, oh, so we're playing sloppy.
We're playing sloppy game, but
because we only average 9.2 a game.
Yeah, but they forced 8 themselves. So they've been playing very aggressively on defense. And even when they don't force a turnover, they're still getting their hands in the passing lanes, making Maryland have to readjust their offense and set up again after a tip ball. And that's definitely made life difficult in the first half for Maryland's offense. And you can see it by scoring only 13 points in 20 minutes of gameplay.
And some of that elevated turnover output is just a function of the way they've been playing this game, where you collect that defensive rebound and you see 2 or 3 guys sprinting down to get in position.
Yep.
You see Doug McDaniel, whenever he has the opportunity, pushing the ball ahead. And that that can be dangerous.
Yeah.
You can mess up and get into some sloppy situations there. But it's more than paid off in the free looks at the basket, in the easy dunks, easy layups. Everything that we've seen out of this offense has been perfectly orchestrated, and just the energy that you feel from the players, the shows of emotion from guys like Kobe Buffkin after one of his steals and transition takes, gets the assist, and he is pumped up about that. Happy to be a distributor. Hunter Dickinson, obviously, after he threw one down.
Yep. He
is a charismatic guy.
Yeah, he definitely is. We mentioned that earlier. We've seen it throughout the season. He'll get going on a chaotic tic-tac-toe game. The Maze player won. An exciting Kids Day tic-tac-toe. Lost my train of thought there. That was a close finish there at the end. But we were talking.
Bodies were flying.
Yeah.
Never take our eyes off the court.
You never know what you're going to miss, especially here at Chrysler. Always got some great activities, especially on Kids Day, New Year.
But yeah, talking about the emotion. The emotion that they came out with. This is not a flat team.
Yeah.
This is not a team that is playing to any level of competition. This is a team that's playing their game, regardless of Maryland's game. And their game is, working through Dickinson, using his size to create space on pick and rolls, getting it to him for easy buckets. Him and, he's the focal point. Jet Howard, very interestingly, was a little more quiet today than he has been. 2 points. 0 for 2 on his field goals, but 4 assists. So
Yeah.
he's been settling into that distributive role as well. 10 assists total for the team, 4 of them by Jet, 3 of them by Kobe Buffkin. So with those guys, these young players are showing great court vision on these transition opportunities.
And that's what you like to see. Like, if Jet's not scoring as much as he has in the past, he's still facilitating, feeding Dickinson, feeding the other guys on the team. Like, that's all you can ask for your best players, no matter, as long as they're producing in some way and contributing to a lead like you have been, like they have been so far today. You can't ask for much more.
And Jet Howard has had his moments of going hero ball, right?
Yeah.
Where he sees, the defender lag off him just a bit and he pops a 3 early in the shot clock. Or where maybe he gets the double but doesn't keep his head up looking for Terrace Reed or Hunter Dickinson underneath. And you haven't seen any of that. He hasn't forced up any shots. He's been wickedly efficient with the ball in his hand.
Yeah, definitely.
If you counted hockey assists in basketball, he might have quite a few
Yeah,
more.
definitely.
Because when he has the ball, he's been getting a lot of attention from Hakeem Hart, a lot of attention from Don Carey,
Yep.
a couple of these Maryland wings that have very good size that can match up with him.
Yeah.
And he's taking what they're giving him. So Jet Howard's been playing a great game. Hunter Dickinson's been playing a great game. When that's happening, that's basically all you need. Throwing Kobe Buffkin and Doug McDaniel, that's what creates this
A 31-point
absolute,
lead, yeah.
this beatdown, this rout.
And Michigan's definitely responded. They definitely played well, and we'll see how they come out in the second half. If they can just continue this kind of play, you hope they don't start settling and start being lackadaisical or lethargic with this large lead that they have. And we'll see how Maryland responds as well. Still, I know it's a 31-point game, but stay with us. It's going to be a fun one for sure, the second half.
I wonder if we see if this lead continues to hold, although Maryland will most likely close the gap as they find their rhythm. Will we see some players that are further down on the bench, Jackson Salvala, Yusuf Kaya, these guys who haven't seen a lot of playing time? They've entered a couple of games.
Yeah.
They've been given an opportunity, even in close games that
Yeah,
Michigan has been playing. And pick up a couple offensive rebounds here, get a couple quick buckets here, but nothing sustained. And if these guys want to be contributors in the future, maybe this would be a good time to take a look at them. Although, as we know, these guys grow up quickly.
Yeah.
Last year, Kobe Buffkin, we're talking about his massive growth, right?
Yep.
As a ball handler, as a leader on the court. But last year, with Elijah Brooks, with Devontae Jones, he didn't have to, right? He wasn't forced into it. Those two guys were the distributors.
Yep.
They were, the pivots of the offense. When the ball swung around, one of them was going to touch it.
Yep.
And they were either going to make the decision to kick to a guy in the corner waiting for 3, to move it inside to Dickinson. And, with Jones and Brooks gone, that's when you see this forced emergence of some other ball handlers.
And then even when before Llewellyn was hurt, Llewellyn was the one that was he was working as a point. So once he got hurt against Kentucky, and Buffkin has really been forced to take over, and he's done really well so far. And he needs to continue to do well, both today and moving forward the rest of the season for the Wolverines. If they want to make noise, get back on the bubble, and then vie for a tournament spot, because that's the goal. You want to make the NCAA tournament, and that first half of the season has not done enough to do that. So they definitely need to step up. Today's been a good start. They have Penn State, Michigan State. The Big Ten's a gauntlet, like it always is. So it's going to be difficult, but every game is a new challenge and a new opportunity for the Wolverines to get back to where they feel like they should have been at the beginning of the year. Remember, they were ranked at the start of the year, and today they playing like they have been. Like why they were ranked, as I should say.
So let's talk about Big Ten basketball a little bit. Obviously, we still got Purdue, number 1 in the nation, and 13-0 overall. They're the last, at least the last major team that is still undefeated. I believe the last team in Division I. Charleston.
Charleston.
Held on for a while, but they have picked up a loss.
Yeah.
and UConn, who you mentioned
Yep,
earlier.
they lost to
lost
Xavier
to Xavier yesterday. So we've seen a lot of movement at the top, where maybe you thought Gonzaga was going to be better
Yep.
coming in the year. They've already picked up 3 losses.
Michigan State. We
Baylor,
talked about Michigan State before the
Kentucky.
broadcast. Yep, Kentucky, North
Plenty
Carolina.
of teams that started the season with very high expectations and have just been met with this general sense of parity.
Yeah.
Right?
Which is great
Even
for
a
the sport,
Houston
yeah.
team goes out, and they lose to Alabama
Yeah.
in that glorious second half comeback. But then Alabama takes a couple tough losses.
Yep.
Houston comes back, beats Virginia. Virginia takes another tough loss to Miami.
Yep.
You're seeing everyone play each other early in the year, and a lot of teams beating each other,
Yeah.
where maybe we would have started to see some hegemony form, some sort of dominant squad.
See a team set their way above the rest. Like, this is the team that, come tournament time, is the team that should be win. Like, we've had that for the past couple years with. But it's good for the sport when you have a shuffling in the top 25 often. No team is safe.
And Purdue's been wildly impressive, of course.
Yeah.
Dominant wins over some top teams. I believe they beat Gonzaga by about 30, and they also had a very impressive win over who was Purdue beaten earlier in the year? Duke they beat by 20. They beat West Virginia by 12. A lot of these were neutral site or road games. And Purdue just handling them with the ease of a veteran team with a great coach in Matt Painter. A team that wants to go a little bit further in the tournament than they have been.
The loss to St.
Still
Pete's,
stinging from the St. Peter's loss.
And Maryland coming off it. Maryland beat St. Peter's. I believe that was their last game.
They've actually played 2 straight.
Yeah.
One was St.
UMBC.
St. Peter's and then
UMBC.
UMBC. So once you take into account the fact that they have these 5 ranked teams that they've already played, and St. Peter's and UMBC,
exactly.
Traditional powers in the sport.
And that's right, the powerhouse isn't come March, which is the beauty of college basketball.
Of course, some level of connection between Maryland and St. Peter's, as Maryland took Seton Hall's coach Kevin Willard. Kevin Willard hand-selected his successor, Shaheen Holloway, the former St. Peter's coach, former Seton Hall star, to succeed him at the Pirates' Prudential Center home in Newark. Everything's connected in little ways.
Yeah. We got players on Maryland that played with Dickinson. I forgot the name is slipping my mind. Who played with?
It was Jameer Young.
Yeah, Jameer Young and Hunter Dickinson, teammates in DeMatha College and in the DMV. So a lot
of DMV connections.
Yeah, definitely. Especially because Michigan has so many players from the DMV, like
Terrence Williams from just outside DC in Maryland. Obviously Hunter Dickinson in that Northern Virginia area.
Doug McDaniel
from DC proper.
Yep.
Add that to a significant, Baltimore presence on this Maryland team.
Yeah.
I think people are going to the well that is DMV basketball. Thriving,
it's becoming
thriving.
It's been a big recruiting base, especially for Michigan. Juwan's been eating from there a bit.
And Maryland as a natural home for many of those players, but they've expanded their recruiting reach as well. Dante Scott is from Philadelphia. Hakeem Hart from Philadelphia as well. And then we talked about some of these international guys. Ian Martinez from Costa Rica. Patrick Emilian from Toronto. And then
Pavlo Zuba.
We haven't seen Pavlo Zuba, but yes, the Ukrainian. He was featured in a special on Ukrainian players by the Big Ten Network. Thoughts and prayers to his family, who is still there. And Arnaud Rivas from Switzerland. So this Maryland team, as we've seen with a couple of teams, Central Michigan just a couple days ago, they had 4 or 5 guys who were 6'10", and from out of the country. You just got to find those tall guys, develop them, Good coaching staff.
And you got Michigan with the Lebanese prodigy, Yusuf Khayat. So, like, the international game coming into college basketball, it's really exciting. So.
It sure is. Who's the next Luka, right?
Yeah, exactly. Putting up 50 a game now, it seems like. He's been a great player.
And we have started the second half. Maryland has the ball. Don Carey controlling it over to Jahari Long in the corner for a three. Jet cannot close out fast enough. That's going to be 3 points for Maryland, starting out hot and cutting the lead to just 28. Pressing a little bit, but McDaniel and T. Will work a two-man game. McDaniel slows it down. We have Doug, Terrence, Kobe Buffkin, Jet Howard, and Hunter Dickinson out on the floor for the Wolverines. Williams working it inside to Dickinson, who goes up with the left, and beautiful finish.
Yeah, great fake kick out, and then was able to get the doubling defender out of there so he can make his move and get on the boards here in the second half.
Meanwhile, you got Don Carey working it out to Batchelor. Batchelor hits a three, and it's out, in and out. Dickinson gets the rebound. Hands it off to Doug McDaniel. McDaniel getting it to Dickinson. Passes it to Jet Howard, sets a screen. Looking for another roll there, unable to get it. But the entry pass anyway. He lobs it in, goes high. Dickinson works it in, and he's going to be fouled by Noah Batchelor.
Great job getting Dickinson inside. He had the height advantage and was able to bully his way into a better position to get a shot up and draw the foul. And Dickinson will go to the line. Michigan 5 for 10 from free throw line. That's something you also want to improve on. We were talking about, like, although this is a big lead, what you would want to hope for to improve. And the free throw line was one as Dickinson hits the free throw there.
I believe he started 0 for 2 and now has hit 3 straight from the line. So settling in all aspects of his game. Dickinson will hit the second. And Maryland will try to see what they can get going with Don Carey. Hands it off to Batchelor. He's going to get it back to Patrick Emilian. Carey comes off a screen and cannot hit the three, but Ian Martinez flies in for the rebound, kicks it out to Jahari Long. He's going to miss a three of his own. And there was a foul underneath.
The offensive foul looks like on Maryland.
Patrick Emilian picks it up. That's his third.
Yeah, Maryland getting a couple chances on that last possession, a couple offensive rebounds. Not able to connect, though.
Ian Martinez providing a little bit of pressure. Doug McDaniel now getting trapped by Long and Martinez. Terrence Williams will take it over just before clock hit 20. Tries to hand it off. Good work by Martinez and Long, but Long is going to push Doug McDaniel there. And they're bringing that type of intensity now.
Yeah. What you expect? You expect Maryland, they're not going to come out flat in the second half. You know they're going to come out firing, trying to get back in this game.
Although we haven't seen Dante Scott, haven't seen Jameer Young, two of the leaders of this team. And Doug McDaniel looking for Terrence Williams. Terrence Williams saves it with an excellent jump. Gets to back to Buffkin. Buffkin works it into Dickinson. Dickinson misses, collects his own rebound, and puts it in with his left hand.
And he does that a lot, rebounding, cleaning up his own messes, and finishing there. He's got 22. Still outscoring the Terrapins on his own. 24, excuse me.
Ian Martinez off the back iron, and Dickinson gets the rebound. That's going to be his 8th board. Doug McDaniel working on the right side against Jahari Long. Jet Howard takes a three off a screen, tries to bank it in, and it is no good. Jahari Long's got it. Working off an Emilian screen, picks up his dribble, gets it to Martinez. Martinez driving in on Terrence Williams, backs out for the baseline jumper. No good, but offensive rebound by Patrick Emilian. Jahari Long's got it. And he, with an acrobatic move and a finish.
Off the offensive rebound, Michigan has given up a couple here in the second half, which you got to clean that up. That's plagued them throughout the season. And although they're up big here today, that's something you got to fix. You can't be giving up second chances to give Maryland chances to get back in this game.
Oh, and Doug McDaniel showing off his speed as he breaks the press and then drops it off for a wide-open Dickinson, flying down once again, unopposed through the paint. Two-handed slam for the big man. There's Martinez working on Dickinson. He's going to miss the shot, end up on the ground once again. McDaniel looking for Kobe Buffkin. Steps into a three, but he's going to travel.
Yeah, took an extra step there on that as he settled that Doug McDaniel pass. But McDaniel doing a good job. He's still pushing. They're still pushing here, even with this big lead that they have.
A lead that is only expanded to 34. 52 to 18 Wolverines here. Just over 16 minutes here left in the second half. Patrick Million's got at the top of the key. He's looking for Don Carey. Carey with the elbow jumper. He's going to splash that.
Don Carey.
Continue to press, trying to forcing more turnovers, get back in this, but Michigan breaks it.
And there's Doug McDaniel dribbling with the left. Jahari Long playing a couple of feet off of him, but looking ready to pounce. Dickinson gets the screen. McDaniel picks up his dribble, but he's left wide open. Can't connect on the three. It's going to be Batchelor with the rebound. Jahari Long speeding it up inside. Too strong. Rebound to Million. Out to Carey, out to Batchelor. Swing it back. And that is going to be a made three by Ike Cornish.
Juwan calling timeout there. Once again, another offensive rebound. Most of the Maryland scoring here in the second half has been coming off of that second chance opportunity, which you can't have. I know you're up big right now, but not only for today's game, but for moving forward in the Big Ten, you can't. They've been plagued by the offensive rebound, like we said, and it gave up another point, another basket there off of the second chance.
So we have not seen Jameer Young, no Juju Reese, no Hakeem Hart, and no Dante Scott so far in the second half. I'm not sure they will be coming back off the bench. If Kevin Willard may be trying to send a message to his team's leaders.
Yeah, try and get something, change things up after that bad first half, getting in some reserves, seeing if they can make some noise and get Maryland back in this game.
Crowd dancing.
Yep.
In a second half tradition.
Yeah, they've definitely been having fun today with the score and a good crowd here on New Year's Day.
No tension. There's been a lot of tension at these past several games. Maybe not everyone, could find the time to have the fun.
Yeah.
But the alumni band is rolling.
Yep.
And
as semester starting
got some
soon,
students back.
Yeah, they're starting to trickle back. Starting semester number 2 Wednesday, which just signifies the start of Big Ten play and basketball season after the tough loss last night. But it's time. It's the basketball team.
It's a new season for everyone. It's a new year.
Yeah.
As students, as basketball players, of course, as football players, as our team got sent home from Arizona by the scrappy Horned Frogs of Texas Christian.
Yep.
But this is certainly more festive New Year's celebration.
Yeah, definitely. And you hope for the Wolverines to keep it that way and just not let the Maryland claw back into this with a comfortable lead that they have so far.
So Maryland, this is our second Big Ten game of the year, but we'll see them again in just 3 short weeks. January 19th in College Park.
Yep.
A night game, weekday game over there, nationally broadcast. And be sure the Terps will be thirsting for their revenge, assuming that they do not.
Assuming this game finishes the way that
we hope.
It looks like it should be going.
If Michigan finds a way to lose this game, there will be incredible questions for Juwan Howard.
Yeah.
And here they have the ball, trying to break a 5-man press now. Buffkin inside to Terrence Williams. Williams has got it. Back to Buffkin, a little 2-man game. Buffkin takes it over the line. Spins. Looking for Doug McDaniel. McDaniel will take it. Daniel working on Don Carey. Blast pass, puts up a floater. Short. Carey gets the rebound. Carey out to Jahari Long. Same 5 on the floor for the Terps. Long looking for Carey. And that's going to be a kickball off Jet Howard. And we'll head to a media timeout under 16.
Yeah.
So we talked about the national landscape quite a bit.
Yep.
But maybe we haven't keyed in on some other Big Ten teams. Other than Purdue,
Yeah.
you've got what has appeared to be a very strong Wisconsin team, sitting at 10-2.
Yeah.
They've been a tough out all year. They have a win over Maryland, and a couple of other solid wins. They're not exactly in the habit of playing to their opponent's level.
Yeah.
You know, they come out every time, have a quality win over Marquette. Just a 1-point loss to Kansas. And frankly, they're rolling the rest of their schedule.
Yeah, ranked 15th in the country now with their strong start that they've had, and Michigan will be heading there. They'll be facing them in February, so they got time before that rematch after what took place last year in the Kohl Center.
That's true, and then it'll be happening very quickly.
Yeah.
With the away game at Wisconsin coming first.
Yep.
In early February.
Yep.
Mid-February even, and then by the end of February, you played them again at home.
Those will be big games at the end of the Big Ten schedule, depending on how things go here this month and beyond for seeding, Big Ten tournament, NCAA tournament. And then for other Big Ten teams, Michigan State, we briefly mentioned them. They've been very up and down this year. They've been injured. They're getting healthy now. Michigan will be heading to East Lansing this Saturday, in what's always a fun rivalry game, Michigan State. That's always a fun game to watch. But if Michigan can take care of business, finish the game here today, take care of business against Penn State Wednesday, you know, if they can pull off the probably assumed to be an upset in East Lansing, and they're right where you want to be here, that would be the perfect start to this calendar year and the Big Ten play.
A couple of teams having a bit of a down year. Iowa, of course, losing as a 31-point favorite to Eastern Illinois, one of the consensus worst teams in college basketball. Following that up with a loss to Nebraska. Nebraska, are they turning a corner as a program? We haven't seen a good Nebraska since they joined the Big Ten.
Yep.
And yet, here they are, wins over maybe their two most heated rivals, Creighton and Iowa, early in the season. And maybe ready to make some noise against a weaker Big Ten schedule than usual. You got Minnesota, you've got Penn State, you've got a Rutgers team that's struggling to gain traction out east, and you've got a rich middle tier of the conference that hasn't exactly shaken itself out yet.
So once the teams start facing each other, that'll definitely put the teams in order in a better place. We'll see Illinois facing them second to last game of the year. They've been looking good this season. They've been good these past few years.
It's been a while since we beat them.
Yeah.
That'd be a huge win. Here, Maryland inbounding the ball. Doug McDaniel with the steal almost immediately. Looking for Jet Howard on the alley-oop. Can't connect. Terrence Williams gets the rebound, though. Gets his own miss. Rebound again. Rebound again to Terrence Williams. And they're going to call a foul. Terrence Williams with 3 offensive rebounds on that possession.
He's fighting. He's battling inside. Good steal by Doug McDaniel. Lob to Jet, but a little too early on the lob, so Jet couldn't finish the layup. And Terrence Williams pushing it, running the floor, getting a rebound, and puts himself on the line.
All quiet, but Terrence Williams can't quite connect. Just under 15 minutes here at the Chrysler Center. Ike Cornish comes out in favor of Martinez for the Terps. Still seeing the second unit out there. Terrence Williams the second cashes that second shot. And the lead is back to 30, 53-23, Wolverines. And Kobe Buffkin using that insane wingspan once again to knock a pass from Batchelor out of bounds. He's looking for Jahari Long. They were still in the backcourt, too. He was doing a little one-man press.
Yeah, we'll just,
and able to
just
disrupt.
slow them down, not let them get in their rhythm there after the free throw.
Don Carey swings it to Batchelor. Gets it to Jahari Long. And they're going to call Patrick Millian for a moving screen. Right at the top of the key. And then they're going to tee up Kevin Willard.
The frustration getting to the Terrapins.
Maryland's number 15, Patrick Millian.
That's a Millian's fourth.
Foul on Maryland head coach Kevin Willard.
And Millian might have to take a seat here. They might have to put
Yeah.
one of these starters back in the game. It's going to be Jet who takes the free throws. He'll hit the first one with ease. And in beautiful rhythm, a couple of dribbles.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like a natural out
Yeah.
there.
For Michigan, number 1, Hunter Dickinson.
Jet Howard, just his third and fourth points of the day, all coming from the line. But we talked about his action as a distributor
Yep,
and a
4
rebounder
assists and
earlier.
5 rebounds, yep.
Doug McDaniel dribbling back and forth around the three-point line. Now passes off to Buffkin. Buffkin entry to Dickinson, who gets doubled. And he's looking cross-court to Jet Howard. Jet Howard blast past Noah Batchelor. And a fancy pass, razzle-dazzle. Ball will be knocked out of bounds, though. Jet, I'm not sure, knew what he was doing with the ball until he was halfway to dunking it. But
Yeah.
he threw it behind his head, trying to find Terrence Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Buffkin inbounds it to Doug McDaniel. McDaniel is going to lose the handle there, but they're going to call a foul. Is that it for Patrick Millian?
I believe that's...
Foul for 15, Patrick Millian, his 5th personal.
Yeah, that's it. That's his 5th.
Quickly leaving this game.
Yeah.
14-10 left. And the
Only
Wolverines
14
are in the
minutes, yeah.
bonus.
All right,
Wolverines
yeah.
are shooting 1-1 here.
Might be a long second half here. We'll see how this, if we get a lot of fouls called. But yeah, Millian fouled out with no points, 0 for 1 from the field, 3 rebounds, and a turnover in 14 minutes.
Not a guy who had been carrying much of the load for the Terps this year,
Mm-hmm.
but still someone who brought a lot of experience to the table. Graduate transfer, as we said, Western Michigan. Doug McDaniel is going to hit the first end and earn a second shot. That one gets the hometown roll.
Mm-hmm.
It is 57-23. Jahari Long working on Doug McDaniel. McDaniel closing in. Active hands looking for a steal. Gets it to Don Carey. Carey working on Buffkin. Gets a screen from Reese. And he's looking for Martinez in the corner. Nice hesitation. Quick step. Can't get the finish with his left hand. Terrence Williams got the rebound.
Yeah, good board by Williams, his 4th of the afternoon.
Doug McDaniels over on the left-hand side. Dribbling in, dribbling back out. Put Batchelor on the ground. And he's going to miss the jumper, though. Jahari Long behind the back, driving in on Dickinson, and he's going to take to the hoop.
Good drive there by Long. And a good finish over Dickinson. Ooh. Almost getting a steal on that press, but they get the foul called instead on Dickinson. And Dickinson's going to go to the line.
What are your thoughts on this officiating here? There's been some ticky-tack calls.
Yeah, a couple. There's you had the flagrant called, which I think, looking at the replay, probably was it looks like a hook and hold, but overall I don't think they've been too much of a factor, especially in this type of game with the score line that we have.
It's true. You wonder if they let him play a little more. Joey Baker flies in for an offensive rebound off the Dickinson miss, but is stripped by Don Carey. Carey passes it off to Martinez. He's got Juju Reese down low working on Terrence Williams. Dribbling in, spinning, and he's going to be blocked by Dickinson, although a foul underneath on Terrence Williams.
Michigan foul number 5, Terrence Williams, his second, team's first. Julian Reese of the line for Maryland is shooting 2.
Reese has not been a factor. Of course, most of Maryland hasn't been a
Yeah.
factor, but he's just got 2 points thus far.
Yeah, Long, the leading scorer, with only 7 points, so.
Long not having the worst day. Played 15 minutes, 3 for 6 from the field, hit a three-pointer, just 1 turnover of the 10 total by the Terrapins. Everyone else has been having a night to remember.
And you mentioned Reese. He's got 4 fouls, too, in 13 minutes, so. And only the 2 points.
Dickinson hands it off to Jet Howard. Jet Howard driving in quickly, off the glass, off the rim. Don Carey's got it. And he passes it to Ian Martinez, who can't finish at the other end. Attempted transition bucket. Doesn't go as planned. Jet Howard passes it to Dickinson, top of the key. Jet working on Julian Reese, steps back with the jumper, and gets it.
That's a good play by Jet, getting on the score. We've talked about how he hasn't scored a ton today, but he's been making the plays he's needed to, and that's a good bucket for him.
Got matched up with a slower defender. Here on the other end, we've got Julian Reese looking for a cutter. Not going to get one. He's going to try to hand it off to Don Carey. Excellent defense by Joey Baker. When he's screened off, Carey uses another screen to get an open 3, and he will not get it. In and out.
Rattled around there and stayed out. And that's the kind of game, that's the type of day that Maryland's had today.
Jet with a nasty crossover. Gets it into Dickinson, and an easy 2.
He got 28 points. He's still outscoring the Terrapins in this game. On 12 for 14 from the field.
He's been absolutely unstoppable. Batchelor with a quick turnaround from the jumper. Cannot connect, and Doug McDaniel has the ball. Going the other way for the Wolverines. He's looking for Will Cheddar inside. Batchelor doing a great job denying the entry pass. But Cheddar's got it from Dickinson. Goes to his right hand on the spin, but cannot finish it off. Jahari Long coming back the other way. Long to Carey, another open 3, and another miss.
Maryland just had 3 for 16 now from 3. It has been their night. It's one of those games for them today.
One of those 61-25 games. Yep. Don't see that very often. Sometimes you go a couple seasons without a one like this. And there's going to be another Maryland foul as Doug McDaniel tried to find Joey Baker in the middle of the paint, but Don Carey pushed him in the back. And that, I think, a very clear foul. Maybe Maryland trying to set an edge with physicality. But the refs are not having any of it. They're not letting them get away with it. And they're not getting their hands around. With a few exceptions. You saw Batchelor deny the pass inside to Cheddar there. But other than that, they're coming around late. They're not getting in position to get in the passing lane. They're just kind of hacking at the ball once it's in their hands.
Yeah.
And that it's scrappy. It's a good strategy if you need to create turnovers.
And especially when you're down big, you got to try and work the calls, see if you can get them. And they've been calling them a lot, but try and be a little more aggressive when you're down big like you are here for Maryland. But credit to Michigan. We got to keep getting credit to Michigan. They played really well. They've rebounded really well after their bad loss here on Thursday. And with 10:38 to go, 61-25 in favor of the Wolverines.
I'm amazed at how little Maryland has been able to turn this around.
Yeah.
That's a testament. It's not just a testament to, the type of awful team-wide slump they're in. It's the University of Michigan defense that is doing this to him.
Yeah.
If it was just the shots sometimes the shots fall, sometimes they don't. If it was just a bad shooting night, they would have recovered by now.
Yeah.
Not to the tune of, in the second half, first half they shot 13%. Second half, they're shooting 29%.
Yeah.
Now, that might be doubling it more than, but that's still horrible. That's still 20 points below what they shoot as a team on average.
Yeah, you mentioned it. Michigan's defense has made it difficult for them to get those shots, and then they've also been missing the open looks that they've had as well. So little bit of both here today, and that's why you have this large lead that we see here.
61-25, Michigan Wolverines over Maryland Terrapins. It's turned out the way that maybe a fight between a Wolverine and a Terrapin would end up.
You would hope so, at least, yeah.
If I had to guess, I don't know. I've never seen a Wolverine. Have you seen a Wolverine?
I've not.
I don't think they live.
They don't have.
Michigan.
Yeah, they don't have we don't have a live mascot here, obviously, which would be kind of cool, like some colleges do.
Then again, I'm not sure exactly what about a terrapin makes it special.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a special kind of turtle.
Is it more like a snapping turtle or like a
snapping
box
turtles are pretty
tortoise?
scary. I'll give you that. Like I wouldn't want to put my hand in front of one of them, but
one time a snapping turtle climbed into the window well of my basement.
Oh wow!
My mom went downstairs to do laundry. And she just saw the thing staring at her, and it was a big turtle.
Oh wow!
I mean, it was the size of several basketballs, if not Maryland basketball players. Not quite as big as these Terps. Joey Baker is going to hit the front end of the 1-on-1. And extend the lead to a game-high 37.
Make it 38. Yeah.
Make it 38. Spoke too soon. We finally see the return of some Maryland starters. That's Jameer, who's got the ball, driving in on Dickinson. He's going to lose his footing, travel, and get the ball back out to Ike Cornish. Ike Cornish is going to get inside, but he's going to be fouled by Joey Baker.
You mentioned the stars coming back in for the first time. Definitely a message being sent by Coach Willard after that poor performance in the first half to try and get them to wake up like, hey, you're not doing good enough as a unit. We'll see if they can step up and make some plays here in the second half now that they're back in.
Hakeem Hart giving it off to Jameer Young, and he's going to hit the left-handed teardrop. Still bringing a press. Dickinson loses the ball. Jameer Young's got it again, and he nearly gets his second bucket. Ball back to Hakeem Hart, blocked. A nasty block by Hunter Dickinson.
Good job recovering after that turnover on the press and not giving up a quick 2 more points.
Buffkin working on the other end. Back to the basket, gets it to Joey Baker. Pump fakes. And here he's going to take a long 2, and he's going to be fouled by Julian Reese.
Double bonus now, two shots the rest of the way. That one was a shooting foul anyway, and Reese is gone too. That's his 5th as well.
And an ugly foul by Juju Reese there. You saw Joey Baker try to get the 3, and a nice closeout on the first attempt.
Yep.
But once he collected himself, started moving to his right to set himself up for the shot off the dribble, Reese just lunged at him, slapped him on the arm. An underwhelming night for Julian Reese. Joey Baker splashes that first foul shot.
We've got Swanton Roger in for the first time today for Maryland, masked up today.
And Baker continues his dominance at the charity stripe. He's hit 4 in a row, although I suppose he did miss a pair in the first half. And a quick 3 by Dante Scott there. Trying to climb back in the quickest way possible, I guess, is the corner 3 right off the first pass. Dante Scott's going to steal the ball away from Will Cheddar, take it the other way, and a nice slam there with a foul.
Yeah, just a little sloppy there. Scott taking advantage, driving for the dunk, and getting the foul on Cheddar. The highlight of the game for Maryland. A little too late, though, it seems at this point, but I've seen crazier things, so stay tuned for the remainder of these last 9 minutes, 11 seconds. That's 65-32 now.
Lead down to 33. Doug McDaniel taking it over. Gets to Cheddar. Back to McDaniel. Working on Jameer Young, slowing it down. Not in a hurry. Gets it to Joey Baker. Joey Baker looking for Dickinson inside. Working on the Canadian, and inside with the left hand.
That's 30 for Dickinson now.
Ref calls for a temporary stoppage in play.
Not sure what for.
Might have been telling Jawan to get off the court.
Yeah.
Here's Jameer Young working to the right side, and he's going to pop that beautiful lefty shot. Finally gets one to fall from outside. That's just his second field goal and first three.
Yeah. Ref signaled that they're going to review that shot. Foot might have been on the line, but either way, if you're Young, just good to see the ball go in the basket. He's had a rough night, only 4 points on 2 straight field goals.
Looks like they are going to revise it to a 2. Hunter Dickinson working with the ball. Back to Doug McDaniel. Doug McDaniel looking for Joey Baker on the right-hand side. Inside to Dickinson. Gets the double. Cheddar flies in and finishes it acrobatically.
Great
He's back
cut.
to the
Yeah,
basket.
yeah.
Gets it a reverse with the right hand.
Great feed from Dickinson. Great cut there, and a great finish.
What'd you see there from Dickinson?
He's been, first of all, 30 points. He's only missed 2 shots, 13 for 15. He's having one of his best games of the year, but he's been adjusting to the doubles when they come. He's been feeding his teammates. He's been playing really well. 12 rebounds as well, so he's got that double-double.
I mean, there is not a way he could have played this game any better.
Yeah.
There is going to be a kick to Hakeem Hunt, who hits the 3. Doug McDaniel doing it himself there, breaking the press with some fancy dribbling. Isaiah Barnes inside, gets to Cheddar. Cheddar's going to be blocked. Ball out to Hakeem Hart. Hart looking for Ike Cornish. Out to Jameer Young, pass it to Dante Scott. Scott dribbling inside. He's going to lose the handle. Dickinson collects it out to Baker. Down the other end, behind the back, but he's going to be blocked. Some good defensive plays here. Jameer Young running the length of the floor. He steps back for a 3. Short. Joey Baker.
Settling it down. It's starting to get a track meet there. They're going back and forth, trading missed layups and opportunities, and Baker saying, let's slow it down. We're up big.
It's the grad student from Duke. Getting some significant minutes today. Dickinson pops it from the elbow, off the front iron, off the backboard, and out. There's Ike Cornish going for a 3 of his own on the other end, and that's going to hit the back iron. Baker, once again, getting the rebound and calmly handing off to Doug.
Yeah, rebound number 5 for Baker, as well as 7 points.
Doug McDaniel weaving through the defense, getting it to Hunter Dickinson, who is fouled on his way to the rim.
Good
McDaniel with a nice move.
Yeah, he's been playing really well today. He's been, especially when he's going downhill, using that speed that he has and that quickness to get those matchups and being able to feed the ball to his teammates or make some acrobatic layups as he has earlier in this game. As we have the immediate timeout on the foul. And the T-shirt toss time. I do not know if they could reach us here, but they got the machine out today, so who knows?
The DTE cannon.
Yeah, the DTE cannon, but all the T-shirts are shooting at high velocity towards us, towards the fans in front of us. I'm talking, they're
Someone's
going really
getting pegged.
fast.
Oh!
They're going really fast.
One man just got hit by 3 T-shirts to the head in a row. My goodness.
I'm surprised how fast they're letting these T-shirts throw out right in front. You gotta have quick hands to be able to just snag one of those free maze T-shirts that they're handing out today.
DTE is
Yeah.
putting the money into the right kinds of
Yeah.
research. As it stands here, we're at the under 8 immediate timeout. 6:35 left on the clock. It is 70-38. Michigan over Maryland in one that hasn't ever been close.
Yeah, 17-0 to start the game. Michigan's dominated from start to finish, and they played the game that you needed them to play coming out of the like we mentioned it before, after the end of their non-conference schedule. It's all Big Ten games from here on out, and this is a perfect start. Finish this game, go to 2-0 in Big Ten play. Penn State coming here on Wednesday, and then before you hit the road for a couple at Michigan State and at Iowa, as Mr. Brightside comes on here in this festive atmosphere here on New Year's Day 2023.
Wow.
Gonna have to get used to writing that.
Yeah. On the other hand, I like the 2023 version of Michigan Wolverines basketball.
Yeah, if they play like this all year, all 2023, they're gonna be a dangerous team.
And part of what we talked about early, even pre-game, is Maryland's lack of size, right? And how are they going to compensate for that? Maybe originally they wanted to get into a shootout, a track meet, where even though Hunter Dickinson, maybe they let him get his 30 anyway, but they're counting on Jameer Young, they're counting on Dante Scott, they're counting on Julian Reese, these high-efficiency, high-volume shooters who, they're comfortable with the ball in their hands. And they're a ball-dominant team with a lot of guys who can score in isolation or just off the pass. This is a good Maryland team, right? We talked about 27th in the AP poll, effectively receiving votes.
I think this is more of an anomaly. I don't think this is an indictment of how Maryland's going to look the rest of the way. You would hope, if you're Coach Willard and if you're a Terrapin fan, that this is just one of those games that you put behind you. Because it's not been good. They've not been able to shoot the ball well. And
they give that.
So Jameer Young gets a 3.
That 3 gets one more point added. Jameer Young, whose 3 got changed to a 2, is back to a 3. Meanwhile, Hunter Dickinson is at the line. He's got another shot coming, but he hits the first. And what we were saying is that they wanted to counter the size with their outside shooting. But instead, they countered the size by fouling a lot. Patrick Millian fouled out. Julian Reese fouled out. A couple of key low defenders and a couple of power forwards that just weren't able to make an impact on the game offensively or defensively. And that kind of set the tone. Here we have Dante Scott working inside. Loses his dribble, collects it again, and he's going to get the easy finish.
It looks like Dickinson subbed out to tonight's ovation. Looks like his night is probably done, and a well-deserved rest of the night off, putting 30 points on the Terrapins.
Doug McDaniel into Terrence Williams. Doug's going to hold it back. Wait for Jameer Young to come to him. Gets to Terrace Reed. Reed over to Williams. Back to McDaniel. Running the shot clock nearly all the way down. 5 seconds left. Terrace Reed working one-on-one. Oh! And what a play! What a play. Terrace Reed dribbling like a guard. Dribbling like Jet Howard. Going down the right hand of the lane. Lobs it up for Isaiah Barnes, who flies in from the left wing.
Yeah, that looks like a
dunks
lob.
it
I think he meant to do that. Looks like he meant to do that.
That was point guard Terrace Reed finding Isaiah Barnes.
And a good finish by Barnes, too. Getting on the
he
score
climbed
sheet.
the ladder on Jameer Young, who has exited the game after that humiliation.
Yeah.
He adds the foul shot into 75-38. Isaiah Barnes getting some good minutes and showing off the athleticism there. Here's Hart, passes out to Batchelor. Don Carey, calling his name a lot, but not for points. And there, it gets deflected. Doug McDaniel blocking a big man there. As Swanton Rogers tried to pass it out, Doug McDaniel got up in his face, batted the ball away. McDaniel working on Jahari Long here. Passes it out to Jet Howard for the 3. Just going to miss, and it's going to go over the backboard and out. We were at 5:05 left here, and there's not much more that the Michigan Wolverines can do to prove that they are the better team here.
Yeah, they definitely played probably their best game of the season at a crucial time to play your best game of the season.
Oh, and there, Doug McDaniel cannot block Swanton Rogers on that dunk as he throws it down over the relatively diminutive point guard. bringing the press here. Jet gets it into Terrace Reed. Back to Doug McDaniel. McDaniel flying in, but he'll take it back out. Didn't like what he saw. Entry pass to Terrace Reed. Working on Swan Rogers. Spins. And that one is just a little short. Out to Hakeem Hart. He'll pop the three. And there's going to be a foul underneath. I believe Terrace Reed is going to get called for hacking at Swan Rogers. Just the fourth team foul for the Wolverines.
Yeah, Michigan have played a clean game overall, as we got Yusuf Kayat coming in now. Jet getting a nice ovation. His night is done.
Here we're seeing a little bit of this development on both teams playing down the bench as Callum Swanton Rogers dunks home another one. Isaiah Barnes running into inbound here, is looking for T. Will. That one's going to be knocked out of bounds and stay with the Wolverines.
Just a second before the final media timeout, so that'll be saved.
Hopefully we can get our money's worth.
Yeah.
Doug McDaniel passes to T. Will. Isaiah Barnes got it going, and he's going to find Yusuf Kayat. Dishes to T. Will for an easy lay, and that is how you break a press.
Yeah, that's
Textbook.
a good. Yeah, quick passes, and that's a good feed by Kayat to finish it to Williams for the second for the basket. And he's got 11 today.
No Bachelor back to Don Carey. Don Carey driving in the lane. He's going to find Martinez. Martinez driving the right side. Out to Bachelor. Bachelor looking for the baseline jumper. And hits nothing. That's going to be an air ball. The remaining Maze Rage members taunted him a little bit.
Let him hear it.
Doug McDaniel backing down Jahari Long. Now he's going classic Doug mode, spinning, but he's going to hit nothing, including the net. Michigan gets the rebound off the air ball. And Terrace Reed takes it to the hoop.
Physical drive there by Reed Jr.
Terrace Reed gets the ball at the top of the key, takes it down the right side of the lane, and lays it in. Guard-like moves for the big man.
And there's the offensive foul.
Swan Rogers gave Doug a little shove to the head there. And there's our final media timeout.
Yep.
2:52 left. It is 79-42, 37 points. It's about as much as we've seen this extended.
Yeah.
And yeah, just there's no other way to say it. Maryland came in unprepared for Michigan's intensity, and then to top off that bit of sloppiness that we saw at the start of the game, where they weren't making crisp passes, where they weren't finding the right shot, just finding a shot.
Yep.
To top that off, they couldn't make any shots.
Exactly.
Even on a normal day, where they're hitting the shots that we know they're capable of hitting, this looks a lot less ugly.
Yeah.
But they came out unprepared for the physicality, for the size, and for the defensive effort of the Wolverines.
And then credit again to Michigan. They came to play today. They're not going to let their last loss deter them and affect them the rest of the season. At least it looks like that based off today. They played really well. Getting a lot of contributions from many players. Jet didn't have his greatest game offensively, scoring-wise, but he still facilitated, and he didn't need to play. He didn't need to shoot the ball well because he had Dickinson, who put up 30 points, and you got Williams the second with 11. Overall, yeah, we said it a few times on this broadcast. Can't ask for much more from the Wolverines today, with Penn State next on the docket for them, and then Michigan State and East Lansing. So those are two games that win both of those games, and you put yourself momentum-wise and confidence-wise, you'd be 4-0 in the Big Ten. That'd be a really good start for the Wolverines. They got to play like they played today on Wednesday night. Can't come out slow against Penn State. They have to keep this intensity and this energy going each
Penn
game
State,
out.
a team that has beaten Illinois.
Yeah.
Who has beaten us
Yeah.
many of the last 5 or so times.
Yes.
I want to say all 5.
And no game in the Big Ten's easy, so that's going to be a battle for sure. Will be broadcasted here on WCBN as well on Wednesday night. So that will be an exciting one. And as the victors plays, as we near the end of this game, it's been a fun one.
it's been a fun one for figuring out what Michigan basketball looks like in peak form.
Yeah.
And what we see is active hands,
Yep.
low defensive position, springing into those passing lanes, and getting out running when you can.
Yeah.
This team maybe doesn't have the same level of creation or distribution that we've seen in the past. We were saying Jets growing into that role.
Yep.
Doug McDaniels growing into that role. Kobe Buffkin growing into the role. That the void that was left by Elijah Brooks,
Yep.
by Devontae Jones. But despite that growth happening, they still need to see these transition runs,
Yeah.
these quick buckets, these open looks. Hunter Dickinson running down free because the other center isn't willing to run like he is. And he's not known for being quick on his feet. He's not known for being a cat running up and down the court. But
they got a lot of subs in now for the Wolverines. Bring out the bench. Getting some valuable Big Ten action here.
Cooper Smith has got the ball for Michigan. He's going to get it back to Greg Glenn III. Jackson Selvala has got the ball now. Back to Cooper. Cooper, the Saline native. Looking for a three. No good for Ian Burns. Jahari Long's coming back down the other way. Face guarded by Smith. Now Carey's going to pop a three. No good. Rebound to Ike Cornish, and he'll get the putback in. Timeout called by Kevin Willard.
Willard wants them to keep fighting through the end. These last 2:16, get some valuable work in before they continue their Big Ten slate. Pulling up their schedule now as who they have coming up next. They're heading to Piscataway to face Rutgers before they go to face the Buckeyes and Iowa, and then back here again, or back in College Park. So for Maryland, definitely want to put this game behind you, refocus, take the positives away from what you've done this season, and
that's going to be a very telling stretch. Those
Yeah.
are a bunch of the teams that we mentioned as, maybe they're not at the height of the powers that they were, last year, a couple of years ago. And they're going to be part of that middle tier that shakes itself out. And picking up wins against teams of your caliber is very important in the Big Ten schedule. Cooper Smith's going to throw that one out of bounds. The target was Jackson Selvala. Jahari Long working on the other end. Gets it to Don Carey, who fakes the three and gets it out to Ike Cornish, who will shoot the three and hit the air once again.
Yeah.
Didn't see that much in the first half.
Yeah.
The second half, we've seen a couple of shots that just were no good from the start.
Yep, Mays Rage letting him hear it as well. Even with this lead, they're not gonna, no escaping the Mays Rage taunting you if you missed the net.
Don Carey's going to come out. Martinez in for the Terps. Selvala trying to dump it off to Kayat, but instead it is stolen by Long. Long takes it in, tries to dunk it over Kayat, and cannot do so. But offensive rebound collected by Maryland. Long misses another layup. And Selvala comes up with it after a heroic effort by Cooper Smith. Kayat now holding the ball. 1:16 to go. Driving right side. Pulls up for the baseline jumper. Off the front of the rim. Noah Batchelor's got the rebound. Leads to a Martinez three that goes nowhere. Glenn Gregg with the rebound.
Yep, last final minute here. Clock just ticking away. Just the final. There's another foul called.
Swanton Rogers picking up what I believe to be his second on Swanton Rogers, although the first one was a hard one on Doug McDaniel.
Yeah.
At the line for Michigan, number 23,
Glenn Gregg is going to bounce that one in off the front iron.
Gets the 80 mark.
Michigan, a team that's been averaging 77.3 points a game. And easily crossing that here today. Ref's still working that whistle.
Yep.
An offensive foul called on Noah Batchelor. So crossing the 80-point threshold may be just as important. They're about to cross the 50-rebound threshold, which is quite the mark.
Yeah, 49 rebounds, yeah.
Michigan, a team that was last in the Big Ten in opponent rebounds, in opponent offensive rebounds allowed, and in rebounding margin. Turning the tables today against an undersized Maryland team, but not just because of the size, because it's not just the big guys who are collecting these rebounds, right? Terrence Williams, he's a stud rebounder, but he only had 5. You saw a guy like Barnes collect 4. Joey Baker's got 5. Will Cheddar picked up 2 in a couple of just 12 minutes for him.
Jet had 6. And Dickinson 12, as we mentioned earlier.
So the contributions were all over the place. Guards crashing the glass, wings crashing the glass.
Yep.
And just taking advantage of the energy gap, the difference in intensity that we've been talking about, ad infinitum.
Yep. And as Maryland using their final timeout, the crowd did not like that call, by the way, if you might have heard the boos. As the final pleasantries of this game are being completed here. But yeah, it's been a dominant performance by Michigan, as we've overstated so throughout this broadcast.
I'm not sure. We might have said it too many times, but I'm not sure you can overstate.
You can't when you play as well as you do. Definitely, they deserve all the praise they got for today.
Glenn Gregg coming down the court wearing the Jordan S23. He's going to sling a pass into Salvala. Cannot connect, and I believe they're going to call an offensive goaltend.
We got a backup point guard in Greg Glenn III taking the ball up the court. Good feed there.
He slung that. He cocked that one behind his head and whipped it like a fastball.
Yeah, he's been.
There's a final 2 from Jahari Long. And this should do it. Shot clock is off. There's 20 seconds left. Glenn Gregg is going to dribble it back outside. And it's all that Maryland can do. Give him some courtesy guarding, but they're going to let him take this out. And a standing ovation from the crowd here at the Chrysler Center, which has been starved for a dominant performance. And got their wish today. 81-46. The Wolverines finished this one out.
That's a huge win for the Wolverines. They played really well. Defensively, they were pressuring the ball handler, getting rebounds like we've talked about. Offensively, moving it really well, getting good looks, finishing, shooting 50% from the field. That's a great win for the Wolverines. And on to Penn State now, but...
And the statistical highlights of the day, Hunter Dickinson, of course, with his 32 points, 13 for 16 from the field, and his 12 rebounds. He was the focal point of the offense. He was the key cog that made everything roll. But, speaking of rolling, Terrace Reed doing some good work in the pick-and-roll situation. And, of course, Jet Howard and Kobe Buffkin getting some key assists in those scenarios. That was really the best we've seen them operate that sort of offense all year. Keeping a couple guys moving at all times, some back cuts, and just that pick and roll, devastatingly effective.
Yeah. And they were spreading out. They had 42 points in the paint, so they were about half in the paint, half outside. So really an
inside and out game.
Exactly.
That the pick and roll allows you to run.
14 fast break points.
And maybe even more than that, depending on how you define it. But that's going to be all from us at the Chrysler Center. I've been Coley Hoving along with Peter Nasser. And thank you for watching, listening, and go Blue.